to investigate something many of us take for granted, from homework to Netflix. The internet's a necessity, but tens of thousands of people not too far from Atlanta still do not have access to reliable service. Channel 2's Justin Gray live in Washington, where millions of federal dollars are going to try to fix the problem.
Yeah, Justin, we're not talking about people living deep in the mountains here. We're talking about families less than an hour drive from our Midtown Atlanta studios. It's a sound from another time. Yes, that's a dial-up modem you hear at Woody's Pharmacy. I didn't even know dial-up still exists.
Most people don't, but that was how we were surviving.
At a modern pharmacy, everything from the credit card payments to the prescription verifications gets transmitted online, but none of that works without high-speed internet.
We would run a claim, and it would kick off 3 and 4 times because it was so slow.
It meant shutting the doors some days because they couldn't fill prescriptions.
When you walk into my pharmacy, you have a need. Typically, it's an immediate need.
It's not like Woody's Pharmacy is off the beaten path. It's within sight of Georgia 400. The FCC says more than 33 million Americans lack access to high-speed internet. That's why the U.S. government provides $9 billion in tax dollars over 6 years to 10 companies for rural internet. Windstream is one of the biggest recipients of those grants. It gets $175 million each year to provide internet to rural communities in 17 states, $25 million for Georgia alone.
For every dollar that we receive from the federal government, we put 10 of our own in the investment.
But Georgia Congressman Doug Collins says he's been receiving complaints about the speed of Windstream service for 4 years now. He has concerns about how federal tax dollars are being spent. You have federal tax dollars here going to provide a service. Do you believe that service is being provided?
Right now in Northeast Georgia, no, they're not. And they can disagree with that all day long.
Take a look at the numbers. The FCC defines broadband as 25 megabits per second. But to get the federal dollars, internet companies only have to provide speeds of 10 megabits per second.
I think it depends on what your definition of high speed to rural communities is.
The company's own data shows more than half of their Georgia customers don't even have access to 20 megabits per second speeds.
I know my grandmother doesn't need 10 meg, but my kids need 25, 50 because of what they want to do with their devices and the streaming video and all those kind of things.
But in many rural communities, that speed Windstream's Georgia operations president says his family needs isn't available.
Their senior leadership, starting in Arkansas and back into Georgia, are tone deaf.
But Windstream says this is a logistics and money issue, and they've met their federal build-out target for 2017.
The economics of deploying internet to a vast, widespread audience is very cost inhibitive.
As for Woody's Pharmacy, relief came when a new provider ran a new fiber line north, but other homes and businesses just around the corner are still stuck with slower speeds.
And many people who are paying for one thing are not getting it.
And a Windstream spokesman reached out to me today to say they are now providing a new fiber line that provides 100 meg speeds up there to where Woody's Pharmacy is located. But what about the larger solutions here? Well, I sat down with the chairman of the FCC to talk about what they're doing and about a new bill in Congress. We'll have that part of the story all new at 6. Reporting live in Washington, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.